I volunteer at a local church in the Lewisham area, and we had decided to decorate the church hall for Christmas. As a volunteer, I was tasked with going into the church hall cupboard and checking if the decorations we had were suitable or still in good order to be used this Christmas. If not, then we would have to budget to buy new ones. It was a late Thursday afternoon, probably around 3 p.m, and still light. The priest gave me the key to go to the hall. He said he'd taken out the boxes and they were down by the stage, and I could just rummage through them, just to check, take an inventory of what was there, which is exactly what I planned. Our church hall has 2 entrances, one at the front, which looks out onto the high street, and one at the back of the hall with a stone staircase, which goes directly down into the church. So I've gone up the front entrance, made my way across the hall over to the stage area, where I found 3 boxes full of baubles and tinsel, and a tatty old plastic Christmas tree. I was kind of grumbling to myself, because upon sight of these decorations, I already knew there was going to be a trip to the shops. As I was rummaging through one of the boxes, I heard a tapping sound on the stage next to me, so I looked up and nobody was there. So I shrugged it off, carried on with what I was doing. Then, on the window behind me, I heard another tapping sound. I turned around to look, and again, nobody was there. There was a tapping sound again on the stage, so I looked up again. Not surprisingly, nobody was there. Then another sound over the other side of the hall was a faint tapping sound on the wall. I started to feel a bit scared. My brain was trying to come up with a logical explanation for the tapping sounds that were going on all around me by now. I said to myself, maybe it's the pipes under the floorboards, but then that doesn't explain the tap on the window. Maybe it was a bird, but that doesn't explain the tap on the wall. So, like any good Catholic, I started to sing the Rosary in Latin, not only to calm myself down, but also in an attempt to distract from the unearthly tapping, whatever it was. It could have been my bad singing the song itself, or the fact that it, the spectral tapper, had noticed that I had noticed it, and thus the tapping became more intense. By now I was terrified. I'm not sure how I mustered up the sense in my terrified state to throw a whole bunch of tinsel back in the box before bolting down the back stairs at top speed, and miraculously without falling down and dashing through the church, but comically skidding to a halt at the front of the altar to genuflect, before heading up the aisle at top speed again, straight out the door. It probably took me a good minute to catch my breath. I was shaking, standing in the middle of Lewisham High Street, when the priest called me and said he just came up to the hall to assist me. "And where are you?" I just blurted out. "We need new decorations." "I'm sorry I had to leave. You may want to bless the place while you're up there." This was around 2 years ago. And although I use the church hall on a regular basis, I've always made a point to never ever spend any time up there alone. It's just too spooky.